Thank you. It can only be downhill from here. Thank you. Wow, standing ovation at the beginning. Oh, geez, it's a little frightening. Thank you, Rob, for that very, very kind introduction, and thank you, Ed, for organizing, and Jim, and the Schlafly family, and so many friends here in the audience. Judge Michelle, always an honor to share a stage with you. It seems like we keep doing this, but I look forward to much more. An honor to be here with Congressman Massey. Most of you here know because it's a small community, but the congressman has many patents, and it's really great for the U.S. Congress to have somebody so knowledgeable, probably one of the most creative folks in Congress in many ways. I learned this firsthand, multiple ways. By the way, I'm not an expert at these things, but I have testified 5 times in Congress now. Twice in the House, 3 times in the Senate. And, but this last time, it's like an amazing innovation that took place. Congressman Massey, who's not on the committee that I was appearing in front of, asked a question from the back. It was amazing. It was like that communication was very, very creative. But I know the congressman actually, going back many, many years, the first trial I ever had was on haptics and haptic technology. And that happens to be the area he's in, and his technology came up in that case. He was not in that case, but his technology came up in that case, so small world to run into him here. And anyway, great to be here with you. Great to be with everybody. Given that it's almost 9 p.m. By the way, Ed, my notes say that I'm to speak from 8:03 to 8:18. Very precise. I like that. But given that it's that time of the evening, and some folks, it's getting late to the evening, let me speak a little bit at. Not so much into the depths and nitty-gritty details of patent policy. We can always do that. But I want to touch again on the importance of innovation and our constitutional patent system. This is a momentous year for science, technology, and innovation in the United States. On July 20th, in less than a couple of months, we will celebrate 50 years since the landing on the moon. A few decades after that incredible feat of American engineering, NASA launched, and some of you probably know this already, NASA launched another spacecraft called Cassini, primarily meant to study Saturn. Cassini performed its mission flawlessly for decades, for many years actually, not decades, many years. But in September 2017, it ran out of fuel. And NASA doesn't just let satellites orbit out of control, so it purposely plunged it to its death into the Saturn atmosphere. Sad, but in any event, there went Cassini in September of 2017. Before, though, Cassini took many pictures, breathtaking photographs of Saturn and its rings and natural satellites. One of the photographs Cassini took before its mission ended was especially poignant. In this one, you see, Cassini turned its lens around and took a picture towards Earth. And in this picture, we see Saturn, big disk, and we see the rings up close, beautiful and colored and all that. And off in the distance, past the rings, there's a tiny speck, like a dot, and you're like, what is it like? It's like a flake of dust or something. I better clean my picture. It turns out that this was Earth. When this picture went public, one reporter looked at the picture and said, Earth appeared as an insignificant pale blue dot. Another wrote, look at that, we are just a speck of dust. How small and insignificant this little planet is, in the grand scheme of the universe, how small and insignificant the people living on that small and insignificant planet in this grand scheme of the universe, with all their problems and all their issues, you know, and Section 101 and IPRs and all that stuff, how unimportant that is. And yet, we humans are the ones who figured out the laws of physics, invented and put together a device, launched it into space, and flew it millions of miles away to orbit another planet. And it was we humans who commanded this craft from some 800 million miles away to turn around, to take a picture, and to send it back to us, back to this pale blue dot, to this mere speck of dust. Insignificant. My view is exactly the opposite. When we humans harness that most unique of human qualities, the power to reason, to work together, to create, we are capable of the most remarkable things. And that is what inventors do all the time. Through their ingenuity, dogged perseverance, and willingness to take risks, they urge giant leaps upon mankind, to paraphrase Neil Armstrong, since it's this year. And that is especially true what American inventors do. Indeed, over time and backed by our patent system, American ingenuity has been at the forefront of every major scientific and technological revolution. As a result, the tremendous progress we take for granted today has mostly been made over the past 200 years, and mostly with American innovation. And though lots of factors have gone into that success, I believe that a uniquely important and history-defining factor is the most important innovation of them all: the United States Constitution and the inclusion in it of IP rights. Our constitutional patent system has given rise to a spark of ingenuity and development, the magnitude of which humanity has never before known, anywhere in the world and at any other time in history. Electricity, telephone, automobile, airplane, recombinant DNA, DNA synthesis, cancer treatments, personalized medicine, the microprocessor, and the smartphone, and so much more. All of that done with American patents. In fact, humanity does not know progress of the scale we have come to expect without the American patent system. But in recent years, as folks in this room know, unfortunately, our patent system has been pushed and pulled, poked and prodded, putting us on a path of uncertainty. The good news, though, is that this administration understands the need for a reliable patent system that is working, and we are working to restore balance in that system. Indeed, as I said at an event a year ago, at the US Chamber of Commerce, in fact, I said, this administration has a mission to create sustained economic growth, and innovation and IP protection are key goals in support of that mission. And that is precisely what we have been doing and what we continue to do. And so, in the spirit of the title of today's conference, we are on the road back. And in further good news, legislators from both parties and both chambers of Congress, and in increasing numbers, likewise understand the need to restore balance. For example, I commend the efforts of Senators Tillis and Coons and Representatives Johnson, Collins, and Stivers, and all of those working with them to provide a legislative fix to patent eligibility under Section 101 of the Patent Code. Of course, and this is important, every change to the patent statutes has its risks. Patentable subject matter in particular is a complex issue, and we must ensure that any legislation on this topic is narrowly tailored to address the problem at hand without raising new issues that could add new burdens to and inject even further uncertainty into the system. I and the subject matter experts at the USPTO stand ready to help with any legislative effort. Because if the United States is to maintain our technological edge in an increasingly competitive global environment, the American patent system must move beyond the confusion of the past several years when it comes to this most fundamental issue in the patent system. Our patent system is a gold standard, a crown jewel that provides both the incentives and the protections needed to enable innovation, economic growth, and the resulting betterment of the human condition. Inventors and the public deserve a stable system of laws that they can understand and that they can rely on. Because, as I've said many times, when patent owners, investors, and the public have confidence in the system, inventors are encouraged to invent, investments are made, companies grow, and science and technology advance. That dynamic combination of innovation, economic growth, and technological advancement has long been the heart of American development ever since our founding. They are part of who we are as a people and as a nation. Indeed, American history is filled with remarkable stories of inventors who worked hard, took risks, persevered, dared to go where others would not, and ultimately overcome tremendous odds to succeed. This is who we are as a people. And so, in invention, I see America. And in inventors, I see the American character. Invention ties our storied past to our bright and promising future. Invention is about trying new things, taking risks, and venturing into the unknown when nobody else would. As the Pilgrims did when they came to these shores against the highest risks, and as the pioneers did as they ventured west into lands unknown, as the women's suffrage movement did, and as the civil rights struggle did. At every turn, through every century since our existence, Americans have defined our history through our willingness to reinvent ourselves while maintaining allegiance to our foundational principles of individual freedom and democracy. Time and again, we resolve our struggles through innovative ideas and solutions unlike the world has ever seen. And even when we fail, our history reminds us that we have always been willing to try again and again and again to do and to be better. This has been the path of American history, and this is the path of invention. And this will also be the path of America's future. For as glorious as the past has been, I believe that our future will be even brighter. We stand today on the cusp of truly remarkable technological and scientific advancements. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, autonomous vehicles, biotechnology, and so much more. American innovation will ensure that the future is ours. And so, in invention, I see America. I see her past, and I also see her future. And in inventors, I see the fundamental traits of the American character: grit, imagination, perseverance, and the willingness to take risks. As one inventor recently said in an interview at the USPTO, on the question of what does it take to be a successful inventor, he said, quote, "The most important thing above all else is perseverance. I think sticking to it and not giving up is what makes the difference." Close quote. Perseverance, not giving up, grit. These are the fundamental traits of the American character, from the Pilgrims of Plymouth Landing to America's inventors. I don't at all believe that it is a coincidence that invention flourished in the United States to a level never before seen in human history. For our founders had the remarkable foresight to create a constitutional framework that combines fundamental freedoms with protections for property, including, as we all know in this room, intellectual property. This has been the secret sauce needed to foster innovation. For it is here that we are truly free. Free to imagine and free to try. Free to succeed and free to fail. Free to work hard and free to reap the fruits and the dignity of that work. It is this unique American combination of character, freedom, and intellectual property rights that enabled American innovation to date and that will inspire the inventors of the future. And it is this unique system that we must protect and keep in mind as we drive America's innovation policy. We must continue to encourage the sparks of inventors' ideas to grow into the flames of world-changing innovation. And we need to encourage those sparks in as many inventors as possible, because innovation is the great equalizer that can dramatically improve quality of life and open doors of opportunity for all. Indeed, it was the American patent system that for the first time democratized invention. Anyone can participate. There's no need to be friends with the crown. There's no need to be wealthy. Well, unless you have litigation in the Eastern District of Texas. Other than that, no need to be wealthy or to have a patron. Our founders purposefully ensured that our system would be open to all. And the United States truly needs everyone to participate. In today's highly competitive global environment, it is more important than ever that all Americans who are willing to work hard, persevere, take risks, have the opportunity to invent, to start new companies, to succeed in established companies, and ultimately to achieve the American dream. In other words, we really need all hands on deck. And the good news is that studies have shown that we can quadruple the rate of innovation in the United States if we focus our national efforts and if we broaden our innovation ecosphere geographically, demographically, and economically. So I say, let's do that. And because innovation is synonymous with America, I'm truly confident that the United States will continue to be the #1 economy for intellectual property and to lead the world in the technologies of the future. So with that, I want to thank you for the invitation to be here with you tonight. It's truly, truly an honor for me. Thank you.